Introduction to Linguistics. Language is such a special topic that there is an entire field, linguistics, devoted to its study. Linguistics views language in an objective way, using the scientific method and rigorous research to form theories about how humans acquire, use, and sometimes abuse language. There are a few major branches of linguistics, which is useful to understand in order to learn about language from a psychological perspective. Major branches of linguistics. This diagram outlines the various subfields of linguistics, the study of language. These include phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Phonetics and phonology. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that makes a meaningful difference in a language. The word bit has three phonemes, b, I, and t. In transcription, phonemes are placed between slashes. And the word pit also has three, p, I, t. In spoken languages, phonemes are produced by the positions and movements of the vocal tract, including our lips, teeth, and tongue, vocal cords, and throat. Whereas in sign languages, phonemes are defined by the shapes and movement of the hands. English contains about 45 phonemes. Whereas phonemes are the smallest units of sound in language, phonetics is the study of individual speech sounds. Phonology is the study of phonemes, which are the speech sounds of an individual language. These two heavily overlapping subfields cover all the sounds that humans can make, as well as which sounds make up different languages. Morpheme and morphology. A morpheme is a string of one or more phonemes that makes up the smallest units of meaning in a language. Some morphemes, such as one-letter words like I and a, are also phonemes, but most morphemes are made up of a combination of phonemes. Some morphemes are prefixes and suffixes used to modify other words. For example, the syllable re, as in rewrite or repay, means to do again, and the suffix est, as in happiest or coolest, means to the maximum. Morphology is the study of words and other meaningful units of language like suffixes and prefixes. A morphologist would be interested in the relationship between words like dog and dogs, or walk and walking, and how people figure out the differences between those words. Syntax. Syntax is the set of rules of a language by which we construct sentences. Each language has a different syntax. The syntax of the English language requires that each sentence have a noun and a verb, each of which may be modified by adjectives and adverbs. Some syntaxes make use of the order in which words appear, while others do not. Syntax is the study of sentences and phrases, or how people put words into the right order so that they can communicate meaningfully. All languages have underlying rules of syntax, which, along with morphological rules, make up every language's grammar. An example of syntax coming into play in language is Eugene walked the dog versus the dog walked Eugene. The order of the words is not arbitrary. In order for the sentence to convey the intended meaning, the words must be in a certain order. Semantics and pragmatics. Semantics, generally, is about the meaning of sentences. Someone who studies semantics is interested in words and what real-world object or concept those words denote or point to. Pragmatics is an even broader field that studies how the context of a sentence contributes to meaning. For example, someone shouting, "Fire!" has a very different meaning if they are in charge of a 7-gun salute than it does if they are sitting in a crowded movie theater. Every language is different. In English, an adjective comes before a noun, red house, whereas in Spanish, the adjective comes after, casa, house, roja, red. In German, you can put noun after noun together to form giant compound words. In Chinese, The pitch of your voice determines the meaning of your words. In American Sign Language, you can convey full grammatical sentences with tense and aspect by moving your hands and face. But all languages have structural underpinnings that make them logical for the people who use and understand them.